and it's an absolute honor and pleasure for me to be here with you to spend the next 40 minutes to share with you something that I hold very dear to my heart, all right? A topic which I took some time to learn about, some time to fail through experiences, and then to learn what needs to be done. But before I get on to what is it that I want to share with, what I've realized is this. Based on experience, whenever people are presented with the opportunity to gain knowledge, one of three things normally happen. One, they hear it, they receive the information, then they feel that, hey, you know what? This information doesn't quite apply to me. It doesn't quite apply to my life. It doesn't quite apply to my business, not to my career. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to use this. And that's perfectly fine. Because at the end of the day, you are the one that have to decide where what you're receiving is worthwhile enough for you to take action upon. So that's perfectly fine. Then there is the second group of people. These are the people who receive the information, they agree with the information, they go, hey, you know what, this is good stuff. This is great stuff. You know what, if I were to apply this in my life right now, life would change for me. I agree. And then they go back and they do absolutely nothing. All right? And that really is the number one reason why a lot of people fail in life. Right, so I've been studying success for the last few years, and I'm going to get to how I got into this journey of studying success. But in my journey of studying success, what I realized is this. The formula for success is easy. The blueprint for success is easy. And I can share this formula with you right now. And this formula is not rocket science. Okay? As soon as I finish saying it, you're going to go, oh my God, Jit, you're standing on stage really talking about this. I know this stuff. But yes, it is that simple because there's only 5 steps to success. Number 1, you've got to set a goal. Yeah? You must know what is it you want to achieve. Number 2, you've got to execute a plan. Number 2, you've got to strategize a plan. Number 3, you've got to execute the plan. Number 4, you've got to persevere and break through whatever challenges that come your way. And 5th, you've got to refine, reflect, and finally, celebrate. This is the 5 steps to success, and you can read about any successful people and in their journey of success, be it Richard Branson, be it the biography of Steve Jobs. You read about these people and you will find that, hey, the pattern is the same. They once had a vision, but they didn't know how to do it. But the vision was there, the goal was there. Then they went out to find out, hey, how can I get about achieving my goals? Because, hey, if you don't know, what do? You learn, right? You seek knowledge because knowledge is out there for the taking. It's there for anyone and everyone. Knowledge does not discriminate. Knowledge does not choose genders. Knowledge does not know race, age, geography, boundaries, nothing whatsoever. Knowledge is there for the taking for whoever who wants it, but you must want it. You must be the one who takes action to go and seek out this knowledge. So they strategize for a plan. They seek out knowledge. They ask themselves, hey, what is it that I know? What is it that I don't know? What is it that I have? What is it that I don't have? And then they seek out to find everything that's going to assist them in their journey. And they're also going to ask themselves, what is really holding me back? Is it the environment that's holding me back? Is it the environment that is scheming, plotting to see me fail? Or is it my own thoughts? Is it my beliefs? Is it my doubts? Is that what's holding me back? So, highly successful people know this. They seek out. They want to know what's holding them back. That is the reason why even the most successful people in the world have coaches to coach them. A great example of this, if you were to look at great sports people, right? Tiger Woods, Roger Federer, Michael Jordan, were they all great sports people? Right? In their prime, they were the best. Muhammad Ali, till today, is still known as the greatest. At their prime, they were the best. Did talent play a part? Maybe. But did they have a coach to guide them all the way? They did. Were their coaches better than them? No. Because Muhammad Ali's coach, I doubt he could have been the world champion. But the power of a coach is a coach knows how to bring out the best in the person. They don't have to be the best. They need to know how to bring out the best in you. And that's the power of the coach. So a lot of people tend to ask me this. So Jit, is that what you're telling? That if I want to be successful, do I need a coach? My answer is yes. Do you need to pay for a coach? Now that's a different story. Because there are coaches that you need to pay for, one-to-one. But can you sometimes afford coaches? Especially when you're not quite successful in terms of your finances. Because success is up to your definition. Right? Success is whatever that you want it to be. There are many different areas of life. Finances is only one area of life. Right? But if for you, finances is an area that you want to improve in, and that is what success means to you, then that's got to be a goal. And then you've got to ask yourself, do you have what it takes to go out and earn the kind of finances that you want? Okay, so coming back. We were at step 3 just now when I said that coaches, that's right. So, do you need coaches? You absolutely do. But if you can't afford coaches, then what do? You learn to be your own coach. And that is so possible. You can be your own coach. And this is no metaphor. This is something that I used to do myself before, where I look myself in the mirror and I ask myself purposeful questions. Questions that's going to help me shift my way of thinking so that I focus on results instead of reasons. So those few questions that I shared with you just now, what do I have? What do I want? What do I need? What do I need to learn? What's holding me back? These are all self-coaching questions that you must make a habit of asking yourself from time to time. Because this is how you coach yourself out of difficult situations. This is how you coach yourself out of challenges. Or this is how you coach yourself to take yourself to the next level. Because, hey, you could already be successful in life right now. And again, success is whatever you define it to be. Because, hey, for you, success could be, you know what? If I can get home from work at 5 o'clock and I just sit down on the couch with a bowl of chips and if I can watch TV, that's success to me. Great. But for others, success could be, you know what? I want to get my first $1 million. Good. Because you need to know what success means to you. The worst thing a person who wants to be successful can do is this: have zero clarity over what is it that they want. Okay, so if you were to think about this, we are all very used to using Google Maps today, yes? Anywhere we go, even if we are walking, do you realize it? That even if we are walking somewhere, we still tend to take our phones out, look at Google Maps to see if we are walking in the right direction, or if we are walking in the fastest way there, or is there a shortcut? But if you were to look at Google Maps, isn't it true? Google Maps needs 2 critical information. First of all, it needs to know where you want to go. Next, it needs to know where you exactly are. Because if it cannot determine these 2 key components, Google Maps can't even give you the route. Life is like Google Maps. We know this, but sometimes we don't translate it, we don't apply it into life. So always know where you want to be at, always know where you're at. Only then you can plan for a route, strategize, and then execute. Execute the plan. Number 1 reason why a lot of people who want to be successful in life don't become successful is because of step 3. They don't execute. And that's the same as the second group of people that I was telling you about just now, where they know it's a good idea. They know it's good information. They know deep down to every cell in their body that, hey, if I were to do this one thing, just one thing, life would change for me. They know it, but they go home and they do nothing about it. They fail to execute the plan. And the moment you fail to execute a plan, that's truly when you have failed. Because there is no shame, there is no harm in executing that plan and being unsuccessful at it. Because if you were to look up the definition of success, if you were to just go to Google and type the word, if you were to look up the definition of failure, what you would find is this. Failure is defined as a lack of success. That's all it is. Failure is defined as a lack of success. A lack of a success simply means unsuccessful attempt. Unsuccessful attempt simply means you are now given the opportunity to try again with a better strategy to enhance your probability of success. Does that make sense? If you were to change your perspective and stop using the word failure and replace the word failure with lack of success, you will never fail in life. You might have multiple opportunities to succeed. That's all. If you were to look at the way a child learns how to walk, does the child immediately start walking after taking his first step? No, right? More often than not, a child that's learning how to walk will take his first steps, and what happens? Kind of falls, right? What does the child do? Just get back up, and the child starts trying again. The child falls. What does the child do? Picks himself up and tries to walk again. As an adult, if we were in that vicinity, looking at that child falling down, what would we tell that child? We would obviously say, get up and try again. No matter how many times that child falls, all we would say is get up and try again. Never will we look at that child and say, boy, I don't think walking is for you, just give up lah. Forget it. Okay? Will we say that? Never. But you know, we sometimes say that to ourselves whenever we experience failure once or twice. We try something, it doesn't work, we label it as failure. The difference between that child and us as adults is this thing called conditioning. The child has not conditioned himself or herself to accept failure because the child doesn't know what failure is yet. For the child, okay, I just fell, I'll just pick myself and try again. But as adults, we have learned to condition ourselves that, hey, failure is an option. It's a way out. So, you know, when things get tough, things don't go my way, hey, you know what? My way out is this label called failure. I'll just call it as a failed attempt, and let me move on and do something else. All right? So always remember that. A lot of the things that we do or don't do is because of the thoughts that we have or don't have. All right? The moment we start changing the way that we think, our perspective changes. There's a great principle that I love, and that principle says, when you change in the inside, the world on the outside changes with you. All right, so the first thing to work on, to me, if you ask me, the environment could be plotting to see you fail. But you know what? You will only truly fail when you accept it as failure. But if you were to just look at it as unsuccessful attempts, and you continue to take action and learn from mistakes, fall in a pothole once, you're forgiven. Fall in that same pothole again, you need to see my optometrist friend and maybe get some new glasses. Okay, so you got to learn from your mistakes, and that's what I mean by refine your strategy. And finally, review, refine, and celebrate. So the formula for success is really easy. And today, I'm not really here to talk to you about the formula of success, but I kind of got carried away. Right? Because the theme of today's conference is about gearing yourself for 2018. And a lot of our speakers today were sharing with you information and knowledge of how to succeed in 2018. So that's why I felt that, hey, you know what? I'm going to start off with this 5 strategy. And more importantly, this 5-step strategy. And more importantly, I really want to highlight to you why a lot of people find it so difficult for this 5-step strategy to win. It really is step 3, that failure to execute that plan. Followed by step 4, you don't persevere and you don't break through. Okay, so you've got to persevere through it. All right, so the second group of people, receive information, do nothing with it. For me, that's the ultimate sin. Okay, first group of people, that's fine. That's your prerogative, that's your judgment, and if you find it doesn't work, it's fine. Second group of people, absolute sin when it comes to wanting to be successful. Third group of people, the best group of people. They hear, they love it, they get excited about it. The moment they step out, they immediately find ways and means to apply it. That's the kind of people that you need to become. That's the kind of people that you need to become. That's the kind of mindset that you need to adopt. Okay, so quick show of hands. How many of you here are business owners in this room? I know a few speakers have asked that already, but I'd just like to see it again from this angle. Any business owners here? Okay, good. Just keep your hands up. I just want to have a quick look. That's great. Okay, you can have your hands down. How many aspiring business owners here? You know, you are thinking of starting a business. It's just a thought that you've had. Great, we've got a few people here as well. So the rest of you are working for an organization, I take it, or maybe you're in between jobs, or you're homemakers, you know, retired. That's also possible. So what I'm going to share with you next is going to be something that business people and aspiring business people are going to love, because I'm going to teach you a simple formula for business success that is going to help you make your business more successful than what it is right now, or at least fast track your journey towards business success. This is the point of time the majority of the room is looking at me. It's like, but we don't know the business. What do we do? Do we go out for a break now? Okay, or do we just stay here and listen? What I want to share with you next is this. In my journey, and my journey hasn't been this all the time. Like a lot of people, I've had my ups and downs in life as well. The big part of my working life was not doing this, was not speaking on a stage, was not coaching, was not training. For the longest time, I was a flight attendant with Singapore Airlines. For about 7.5 years, I was a flight steward with Singapore Airlines, living the life, going from country to country, eating the best food all over the world, you know, and that was life. Being a flight steward in Singapore Airlines is one of the very few jobs, if not maybe the only job in the world where I can say that job ends when job ends. I step out of an aircraft, guess what? Wherever I am, whether it's Singapore or overseas, job ends. No more. It's my time. You know, I step back into the aircraft, job starts. Right? So how many jobs can say that? Not many, not a lot that I know of at least. So I had a good 7.5 years, but then it reached a point when I was approaching my 30s where I wanted more. You know, how many of us have ever felt that before? That, you know, we want more, we feel like we are meant for more. And that's what I started feeling. That little feeling started creeping in. And I said, hey, you know what? I want more. So I made the difficult decision. I took that step out of the airlines. I left my comfort behind. I came out to find myself and to find something that I want to do in life that I could call a career. Problem was, I didn't know what it was. I was not a coach that yet. I didn't read about self-coaching. I just knew, you know what, I want to be successful in life. That's a great goal to have. I've heard that if you have drive, if you have passion, you will be successful. Great, I have drive, I want to be successful. I have passion, I'm passionate about making a lot of money. You know, I want to come out and be successful. So I left. Problem was, I didn't know what I want. And that lack of clarity caused me to stumble a little bit. I faced some challenges, some adversities, because in my mind, while I thought I was qualified, I thought, hey, I have a degree in engineering management. Yes, right? My formal education is in engineering. I was like, hey, I have a degree in engineering management. How difficult can it be for me to find a job? It was difficult because while I had a degree, my work experience did not match my degree. When I was going back to the engineering field, applying for jobs, what HR was telling me was that, hey, while you're qualified, you're also outdated because you spent 8 years in hospitality and customer service. So you know what, we can't give you a job. You're outdated. And I suddenly felt a little old at 30. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. Since my strength is in hospitality, my experience is there, let me go and apply for customer service jobs. Right? Were the jobs coming in? Yes. Problem, they weren't paying me what I was asking for because they said, you're not qualified. You have the experience, but your qualifications does not match. And there I was thinking, oh, crap. What do I do now? Right? Before I knew it, in search of my calling, in search of finding what I could call a career, a new problem popped up. Okay? And that problem was finances was running out. You know, I had a house, I had a car, and I needed to maintain all this, and I was not earning any money. Right? Owning a business means what? You want to make money, yes? People own businesses, or at least one of the reasons for running a business or a successful business means you got to generate profits. Profits mean revenue must be higher than expenses. In life, isn't it true? What you take in has got to be higher than what you spend. That's what Abang Abu talked about this morning. All right? So if you were to look at it, life is a business. So for all of you who are very worried just now, saying that, hey, Jit is going to be sharing about the business success model, guess what? You are a business. So in other words, 100% of people in this room are business owners. While you may not have a physical business to run, the same principles apply to you as an individual. You are a business. So which means what I'm going to share is going to apply for all of you. Right? So back to my journey. I didn't know what I want to do. I faced struggles because now in was lower than out. In was zero. I was living on savings. Before I know it, expenses started piling up. I now had no choice. I had to do whatever that came my way. So I started doing things like real estate for a while. Didn't like it. Then I started doing direct selling in the sense, you know that guy that a lot of people try really hard to avoid at train stations and bus stops, the ones asking you, sir, we've got this credit card for you to sign up, free, got free gift somewhere, and you just go like this. Yeah, so if I look familiar, you could have said no to me once or twice before. And this was just about, 5 years back. So I was even doing that, all just to make ends meet. And just when I thought that, hey, you know what? Life sucks. Because now, at the age of 31, career-wise, I had no idea where I'm going. Financially, downward trajectory. If I'm being completely honest, it was getting into the negative territory. Okay? And just when I thought, life sucks, there is no way life can get worse than this. Okay? Always remember this. Never challenge the universe. Okay? No matter how bad it is, think positive, okay? And always look for what's good in life. Because the moment you make that mistake of challenging the universe will tell you, you know what? Let me show you how life can get a little worse than this. All right? So that's what happened to me. All those troubles, all those challenges took a toll on the marriage that I was having. And in an instant, the marriage came to an end. And for me, that became like the last thing I could accept anymore. Because for me, it's now I don't have money, I don't have career, I don't have companionship. And in Singapore, when you lose companionship and you go through a separation, what happens? You also got to give up your HDB. And then, you got to start selling your cars and all that kind of thing. I felt that life had gone one full circle and I was back to square one with absolutely nothing. The only question in my mind was, why me? We've all been there before where we ask this question, why me? I'm a nice guy. I do good things. People tend to like me. Why do bad things happen to good people? Ladies and gentlemen, remember, coaching or self-coaching is about asking purposeful questions. The question, why me, does not answer anything. Why me only shifts your focus and your attention back to the negative experience, to the problems, to the challenges, and what it triggers is more negative emotions. Why me does not answer anything. And when I started asking why me, what happened was, I started feeling worse. The more frustrated I got with life, the more negative I got. Motivation to a complete low because I had no motivation to get out of bed to go to work. Because the questions in my head that followed was, fine, why do I need to go to work? Why do I need to earn money? Why do I need to fall in love? Because nothing lasts in this world. So if it doesn't last, why do it? So one bad question leads to more bad questions. And this was when I had a little moment where I realized that, hey, you know what? I've got to change the way that I'm thinking, because I started losing friends. Because nobody wants to hang out with someone who's overly negative. That's going to affect how they are feeling. So over time, people started avoiding me. Because positive people want to hang out with who? Positive people. Do you know who the negative people attract? More negative people. Right? And that attracts more negative experiences. So I started realizing this, and I told myself, hey, you know what? I don't like this anymore. I don't like the person that I'm becoming. Enough is enough. I want to grab life back in my hands. I no longer want to be the victim of life. I want to be in control of life. And that's when I told myself, enough, I'm going to learn what I have to learn to be successful. I set a goal for myself that, hey, I don't have the answers, but I'm going to go and learn. All right? So I started Googling. I started asking people, hey, are there any seminars I could attend? One person told me, you know what, Jit? Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. Great seminar. He's empowering, he's transforming millions of people all over the world. You should attend his seminar. I was like, great, just listening to this, I feel excited. Let me Google him. I go back, I turn on the computer, I Google 1,000 Australian dollars. I go, what? $3.50 chicken rice was already a struggle at the food court. $1,000 to attend a seminar? And that's in Sydney, excluding airfare, excluding accommodation, and excluding food. I was like, I cannot afford this. Not now. But then I started asking myself, I've got to change the questions. So why me is the worst question to ask, but the best question to ask is, what must I do next? So I started asking this question. I said, okay, I can't afford Tony Robbins' seminar. What must I do next? Immediately, it shifts your focus towards being a solution finder. What must I do next gave me an answer. And the answer was, okay, you know what? If I can't go to Tony Robbins, I will bring Tony Robbins to me in the form of a book. Okay, so I did something that I don't normally do. I stepped into Kinokuniya. I completely ignored the comic book section. Okay, I went to this magical section called the self-help and the personal development aisle. Went in a section that always looked empty. Once I stepped in, I realized, hey, you know what, there's actually a lot of people here. And you know what, they all looked quite happy. So it's not like they are there because life is tough. They know the value of knowledge. They know that if you want to progress, you must first feed what's in here. A lot of people know about the importance of food for the body to remain healthy and strong. But do you know the brain needs food as well? And food for the brain is knowledge. As long as you keep feeding this with knowledge, you will keep finding solutions to any problem that you're faced with. So I started buying books. I made it a conscious habit to read books every day. You know, I started with 15 minutes, that went on to half an hour, and eventually went to about 45 minutes. And I just started buying and reading anything that would make me a little bit smarter than I was yesterday. Right? And that was my simple goal. I just want to know a little bit more today than I knew yesterday. Right? So that's why I did not read Harry Potter. I did not read, Maze Runner and all this kind of stuff. What was the other one? Twilight? No, all that, no. Just pure educational stuff. And I started studying what is it that made people successful. And I started applying. And the more I applied, I realized, hey, life started getting a little better. I reinvested it into more seminars. I borrowed money to attend seminars, okay? I'm telling this out loud because the person that I borrowed money from to attend a seminar is sitting right behind. That's my mom there, okay, just behind. So, but I paid her back. That's why she's here today. No, I'm just kidding. It was a challenge paying her back because she doesn't want to take money back. She's like, no, I've given it to you. It was a challenge, right? But I realized the value of it, and I attended, I applied, life started changing. That's when I started my career. I told myself, hey, you know what? This is what I want to do. Personal development works. It helped change my life. Because of that, I want to help others transform their difficulties their challenges into successes. So I started coaching people. I joined an organization where I was a coach. I started doing a little bit of training. And in 2014, I told myself, hey, you know what? Life is getting quite good for me. I like doing this. I want to step out. I want to start a business for myself. I want to own my own business. This is what I want to do. I stepped out again. While I knew some things, I also forgot about some things. What I forgot was I had no experience in running a business. I had no knowledge about running business. And because of that, instead of acquiring the knowledge first, I once again unconsciously jumped first. And then, after about 7 to 8 months of having my business, I realized this. After 7 to 8 months, I have not sold a single coaching session. I've not sold a single training session. And once again, finances was going low. And I was like, oh my God, I thought life was good. How did this happen again? But the difference is now I know. Very quickly, I started reminding myself, hey, you know what? This cannot go on. I've got to be my own coach again. So I looked in the mirror, I said, okay, what do you have? What do you not have? And what I realized is I did not have the knowledge of how to run a business. Immediately, again, I started buying some books about running business. I started watching YouTube videos about how to run business. I started talking to people who are running businesses who were more successful than me. And what I found out was this. To be successful in business is no different than being successful in life. The pattern was the same. The formula is the same. And what I want to share with you next is just that. It's what I call the business success model. It's only 6 components if you want to be very successful in your business. And for those of you who are not running a business, remember, you are a business. You are a business. Right? So the first 3 components, if you want to have a successful business, which means if you want to make more money, if you want to make revenue, and you want to make profits, you only need 3 things. What you need is this. You need something to sell, right? A product or a service. You need awareness, and you need demand. For those who are not running a business, you are the business. That means you are the product. Ask yourself, are you a good product? And how do you judge whether you're a good product or not? This is where your strengths and weaknesses in terms of your skills and knowledge come into play. You've got to ask yourself, what skills do I have? What am I really good at? What are the things that I may need to improve on? What is the knowledge that I have? Because each and every one of us have something in here that we are better than someone else, because our experiences in life is very different. And each experience in life teaches us something. So you've got to ask yourself, are you a good product? And if you're running a business, what is your product or what is your service? Next, awareness. Awareness simply means the number of people who know about you or what you do. Awareness is the measure of the people who know about you and what you do. Word of mouth is the buzz that you or your product or your service creates, and advocates are the ones who go out and vouch for you. So you've got to ask yourself, with your business, are you having awareness? Are you having word of mouth? And are you having advocates? And which do you have more of? Because if you're just creating awareness, and awareness is as simple as this. You go to Facebook and you just post, hey, I'm the most motivated person in the world. I could post on Facebook, I'm the best motivational speaker in the world. Would it create awareness? Of course it would. But is it awareness that people would just believe and receive and immediately create word of mouth and then go out and vouch for you? No, because awareness in that form is as good as, buying a $30,000 newspaper ad on Straits Times and just putting that ad there, hoping that people would see and then call you. But that's not the best form of marketing. The best form of marketing is in word of mouth and advocates. If you were to look at how Apple runs its business today, doesn't Apple have a lot of fanboys and fangirls out there who are queuing up for every product launch? Even if the phone costs $1,888, people are still queuing up. And these are the people who are not paid to queue up. They don't need ads to queue up. They don't need any form of marketing. They are already tracking when the phone is coming out. And they are the same people that come to you and say, hey, have you seen the new iPhone? You should buy this. This is really good. Come, let me show you the feature. Before you know it, you start thinking, hey, maybe I should buy a $1,888 phone. That's Apple's marketing strategy. They built a big base of advocates, people who go out and vouch for them. Apple does not need to spend another cent on their videos anymore, but they still do it because they know they're good at it and it looks cool. Right? So, are you having advocates in life? On top of you posting, or over and above you posting about yourself, are people in your life posting about you? And what are they posting about you? Are they posting good things about you? Are they thanking you for things and services that you have done? Because those are advocates. Are people calling you up and saying, hey, you know what? Can I meet up with you to have a chat with you? Because my friend who knows you told me that for this problem, this challenge that I'm facing, you are the person that I need to talk to. To me, that's like the ultimate salute you can get. It's an ultimate testament of what you're doing. All right? And that's awareness. And lastly, demand. So in business, it's simple. In business, you want to have a product or a service that's in demand. If you are a technician for a picture tube TV, you know the TV that Ebenezer showed this morning, that old picture tube TV, you may be the best picture tube TV technician in the whole wide world. But today, it's no longer in demand because there are no more picture tube TVs, which means you could also be out of business. So you want to make sure that your products and service is something that's in demand. As an individual, your demand is your characteristics, the kind of person that you are. Is it the kind of person that people want to be around? Because I know of people who are very proud, and for the lack of a better word, they are very proud to be assholes. Okay? And it's not something that people call them, they call themselves that. They say, yeah, I know, I'm an asshole, deal with it. And they're very proud about it. But you know what? Once again, the law of attraction. Okay? Who hangs out with assholes? Yeah, think about that. Okay, so you've got to ask yourself, the characteristics that you have, is it something that's going to aid your cause with awareness and advocates? Are people going to be saying good things about you, or are they going to be saying bad things about you? And if you know for a fact you have certain traits, certain characteristics that needs to change, then you got to quickly start changing it, start learning it. And if you want to have a successful business, it's really just these three things. Because the moment you have something to sell, the moment you have enough awareness and advocates, and the moment there's a demand, you will make money. So being successful is easy, but staying successful is difficult. Because staying successful needs three more things. And these three things are focus, accountability, and reputation. Focus means you've got to keep your attention on continually doing the things that made you successful in the first place. Because if you stop doing what you have always done, the results will also change. And a lot of times, when people see a small measure of success, that is the point of time when people start taking things for granted. They stop doing the little things that mattered before. And when you lose focus, that's when trouble happens. So what is your focus? A good way to look at focus is to really remind yourself, what is your purpose? Or what is your higher purpose? If you got into business, what is the purpose you got into business? If you're an employee working for an organization and you're finding it really difficult to drag yourself to go into work day in and day out, ask yourself, what is the purpose you joined in the first place? Because chances are you have forgotten what this purpose is. And your focus right now is no longer on the purpose, it's on the challenge and the problems. And that triggers emotions. All right? So sometimes the best way to overcome negative emotions is a simple attitude of gratitude. You've got to ask yourself, what am I thankful for in life? Why am I here? Why did I start doing this? What's my purpose? And if you still believe in that purpose, go ahead with it. But if you suddenly realize that, hey, you know what? This is something that I no longer believe in, then you've got to find yourself a new purpose and you've got to shift your direction. Okay? Accountability. Accountability simply means, okay, always deliver what you promise. The worst thing you can do is overpromise, underdeliver. What you want to do is underpromise and overdeliver. Because accountability will lead to that last component, which is reputation. Whether in business or in life, the only thing that stays with you beyond your time is your reputation. Reputation is the thing that people remember you by. If I were to ask you, what do you think the people closest to you think about you? Do you have an answer? If I were to ask you, do you think what people think about you, and I'm talking about people who are closest to you, not just the general masses, people who are closest to you, are their perception of you the same as what you think they think of you? Does it match? Because you may be thinking, yeah, the people around me think I'm loving, I'm caring. But are they having those same thoughts? Or are they not? And this is a good check to have. I mean, hey, just ask them. And you've got to ask them with a learner's mentality. No ego, because ego, E-G-O, stands for exit gate for opportunity. Exit gate for opportunity. Yeah, that's right. E-G-O. The moment ego comes into play, guess what? Opportunity just goes out the window, out the door. Right? So you've got to park that ego aside with a pure learner's mentality to ask someone, hey, what is your thought on me? How do you see me? Because I want to learn to be better, but I need you to look at my blind spots. And then you've got to start working on your reputation. So in business, reputation is what keeps you in business. Because you can earn a quick buck. But the moment your reputation goes down, guess what? No one will start buying from you anymore because word travels faster than anything else. Today, in this age, with technology, word travels fast, especially when it's bad news. Right? Negative messages travel so much fast. Train gets delayed for 20 seconds. Okay? It's on Storm, it's on SMR, it's everywhere. Right? But the train can run smooth for an hour. No one says, hey, good job, SMRT, you're better. No one says that. Right? Because bad news travels faster. Right? But you've got to work harder with good news. So you've got to look into your reputation as well. Okay, so for me, this is how I run business, and this is how I run life itself. I always focus on these 6 components. I look at product awareness, demand, focus, accountability, and reputation. And believe me, if you were to apply at least one of these to make it better, you will start seeing improvements in your life. Okay? Before I end off this session, there's just 5 things I'd like to share with you, and these are just some guiding principles. This is going to make your journey a lot easier in 2018. All right? And if there's one thing that you're going to take from my entire session today, please take these 5 things. Right? So 1, upgrade lah, buy 1, free 4. Okay, so you get 5. Right? And these are the guiding principles for success. Number 1, have absolute clarity. Know what you want, know where you are, know what you have, know what you need, and know what's holding you back. The only way to find out is ask yourself those questions. Number 2, be a lifelong learner. Seek knowledge. Seek, learn, and apply. Number 3, take immediate action. All right? Taking action alone is not enough. You take immediate action. You hear something good, take action. All right? Because until you try it out, you won't know if it works or not. And if it doesn't work, sure, unsuccessful attempt, try again with a better strategy. Okay? Be that child who's learning how to walk. Next, operate at peak. High energy, positive emotions. That's what operate at peak means. And finally, persevere through challenges. We all have challenges. We all have problems. No matter how dark the night gets or how heavy the storm is, the sky will eventually clear up and the sun will rise. You just have to persevere through this, doing the right thing with your focus in the right direction, with your purpose in play, and trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you will have a wonderful 2018. With that, I'd like to say thank you all so much for having me here today. It's an absolute honor, it's an absolute pleasure. I hope you have enjoyed something. Thank you so much.